Well, welcome to this episode. Now, I'm building a guitar from the... So let's get going. Well, hello there. Now then, I'm building a guitar from offcuts from a fence that I installed in the garden last year. So we have a feather edge fretboard on an Aris rail and feather edge neck, and we have feather edge top with feather edge sides. This is a bit of cherry that came from an old sideboard just to strengthen the whole lot, otherwise it's feather edge on the back there. Now then, in this episode, right, I'm going to be looking at these preamps. These are preamps that I'd wired up some time ago, so I'm not sure if they even work, but I'm going to plug it in to my test guitar here, and just to see if I can find one that does work, because I need that for the piezo pickup. I'm also going to be undoing the decoration for the sound hole, which I made in the last video, which is quite exciting. So, got plenty to do. I'm going to get on. Okay, to test these circuits, I'm going to be using my test harness, which just allows me to connect various connectors to the board. It's got a battery, and it's got an input from the guitar there. That comes out of that box there and goes into this little box, which just simply allows me to connect it to the iPad. I've got a pair of headphones to monitor. I'm going to be using Cubasis to listen to what the thing produces. So first things first, I'm going to wire up this first little board just to see what sound we get from that. Okay, first things first, make sure it's switched off. That's always a good start. And now it's a question of finding the right wires. So this is an out, that's an in. One of these red ones is the power. Right, that's the plus volts. So the plus volts goes on that peg there. And that's the out. It goes on to, funnily enough, the out. Cubasis 2. To test this, I'm going to switch the guitar so it's using the piezo pickup. Got everything in place. Let's just select the channel, switch on the test harness, see if we're getting anything. Nope, absolute zero. I didn't bore you with the rest of the tests, but the upshot of it all is that none of these work, which is probably why they're all in a box out of the way. So what I'm going to try and do, I think I'll try and reclaim some of the transistors from these, but I think the rest of it will go in the bin, and I'll have to build a new preamp for this guitar. Okay, well, I've got all the bits, so perhaps I can make use of some of the bits from these. Right then, well, yesterday was a bit of a waste of time because those preamps that I had lying around didn't work, and that's probably why they were lying around. Anyway, never mind. So while I think about what I'm going to do with the preamp, I thought I would undo this. You can see I've added quite a few more clamps on it than I had originally. Just really wanted to make sure that it would press tight. Okay, this should be interesting. I've got to somehow get that off there. Pretty well stuck. Okay, plan B. should lift off because it's on cardboard. Right. Wow, look at that. Well, I'm pleased with that. Just thought I'd share with you, I've made a couple of modifications to this jig. Firstly, I've put a bolt through there to allow me to secure this end. What I should have done is centered this in this board more, but then never mind, I'm okay with that. So this allows me, once I've clamped it, to tighten that up, and that should hold it without the need for all of those clamps that I had on the thing this time. The other thing I've done is these feet that I'd put on it were too wide, so I've narrowed them, so hopefully now they will fit in the vise, because they didn't fit before. There you go, and it will just hold it secure. So other than that, it seems to have worked really well. Okay, so let me just talk you through the next thing for me to do. Now then, we've got the tailpiece, we've got the bridge, and I've now cut the decoration for the sound hole. Now then, let me introduce you to this. I hope you can see this. This is Carolyn's design for the sound hole. So this is the neck coming into the guitar. This is the sound hole, and you can see we've got this ivy leaf decoration coming in to go across the sound hole. And the idea is that what I'm going to do is mount that in there and then cut it just at the edges there. Now then, what I'm going to do then is make another leaf, this leaf, out of this Santos rosewood that I've got, and this will go into the over the sound hole and, well, basically cover up the end of this. Well, it'll be chopped nicely, and it will then blend in with this. This is going to be artwork, so this Karen's actually going to paint this. So I'm hoping that the whole lot sort of, it's got the inlay and the artwork integrated together. That's the theory. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is cut this out. Right, that looks okay. Now I'll tell you a bit of a story with this. This is actually two pieces of Santos rosewood stuck together because I was trying to make another fretboard up from offcuts of other fretboards and the pieces were too thin, so I'd stuck them together, and it stuck together fine all the way around there except this little bit here, which I need just to put a bit of glue in and clamp pretty tight just to finish it off. So I think I'm going to do that first. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to drill a hole, a little pilot hole where I want the centre of the sound hole to be, which is just here. Let's mark it with an awl first. There we go. So I'm going to go straight down in there. Okay. I'm going to just confirm that has actually come through the centre. Yes, it has. Yes, that's good. Okay, so now I can put a panel pin through there and mark it on the body. Okay, here's the body. Let's get the centre lines lined up. Okay, so I'm just going to now tap a mark in there. It is. It's 104. Now I'm going to do a circle which is 100 mil, which is what I'd planned to do at the beginning. And what I'm hoping is that that will then squeeze this in, and the pressure will help the whole lot glue to the side. It's not the greatest of compasses, this one. I think that'll be okay. Now then, how to cut this out. I think what I'm going to do is drill a hole, use this jigsaw to go inside there, and then just go right up to the line on the spindle sander. Now I've put a couple of pieces of OSB underneath this body because I'm a bit worried about it splitting, so if I put any pressure on this, so that they should support it. That's the idea anyway. Okay, so I've got the hole cut, and what I've done now is put this drawing back over the area, and I've just gone lightly with pencil round that leaf there, because that's where that leaf is going to go. That's not stuck very well. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this on here and mark it out if I can find the right way round. Is that the right way? What have I got here? Let's check this, just get this in the right position. Right, so what I think I'm going to do is stick this down and go around that with a knife so that I can get on and just chisel out the area where this inlay is going to go. See if this is going to fit in there. Not far off. Just got to tidy up the edge a bit. I've lost a piece there. I've actually kept it. I'm not sure if I can stick it back again. I'll have to see. Okay, I think I've done as much as I can. I'm just trying to glue that piece that split a bit earlier, and also need to glue this little tiny piece back in this corner here. So what I'm going to do that, I'm going to do all that with wood glue. There's something very satisfying about carving wood. I mean, this is soft wood, but it's given me the confidence to try something a bit more adventurous on my travel guitars. This is quite a nice set. It's from Axminster. I'm not trying to sell their stuff, but it's quite a useful range of wood carving knives there, and they're fairly easy to sharpen as well. So yeah, right, I think we're about ready to glue. Why not? Might put another piece just there. Okay, I'll leave this to one side. The blingy facets, the blingy facets thing was great in theory, but of course, in order to get the glue off, I'm going to have to sand this. So I think it's going to have to be just polished aluminium. Now, unfortunately, the preamps that I was hoping to use that I already had made up no longer work, or have never worked. So what I've done, I found some strip board, and I've stuck one of my templates on the back, and I'm just going through it now and marking up all the holes. What I've done, I've taken the transistors off the boards that weren't working, so I'm going to find some transistors that do work and use those. Now, I have covered making this preamp in some detail in previous videos, so what I'll do, I'll put a link to it in the description below, and hopefully somewhere up on the screen there. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, after a little bit of work, here is the new preamp. Well, it's coming up to 5 o'clock. I think I've had enough, so I'm going to clear away and come back to this in the morning. Don't mind telling you, it's a freezing afternoon, and I've just popped out to test this circuit. Now, this is the one I've made specially for this guitar, and I'll be honest with you, it's taken me an hour to get it working, and the problem I had was I'd missed one resistor, a 2.2k resistor right in the corner there, and that wasn't working. So I've replaced that now. I've put it in there, just tested it. Well, I'll show you what happens. So if you keep your eye on the mixer there, switch that to the piezo pickup, and you can see I'm getting a really strong signal coming through. And oh, sorry, the guitar's completely out of tune, but that's really good news. So now I can move forward and start to think about how I can put this amplifier in the feather edge guitar. The other bit of good news is that the 4 transistors that I rescued from the preamps that weren't working are working. So the transistors were okay, it was just the circuits. So I've used 2 of them, and that's certainly in the spirit of use what you've got. So that's really good. Now, I do appreciate that there's an element of this guitar being a bit of a gimmick, you know, making a guitar out of some fence leftovers, but I do want it to be an instrument to be proud of, and which is why, you know, we're doing the inlays, and which is why I produced this ring to go in the sound hole. And I think once the artistic design that we've thought of for this guitar is all put on there, then hopefully you'll appreciate what it is we're trying to achieve. Anyway, I'm really excited today because what I want to do is to actually fit my binding or perfing, whatever, round the sound hole, and then glue that in place, and then I can sand the whole of this top down again, and we can get it ready for doing the artwork. Now, what I also want to do is I want to put some indents into this leaf to give it some character. It's a bit flat at the moment, so I'm going to be trying to have a go at that as well. So let's try and tackle this ring first. Now, my idea is to run this ring round the sound hole, stopping at these points on this leaf, but I've thought that what I might like to do is just file some of this down so that it actually sits underneath the leaf, because I think that would give it more strength if I could stick it up underneath the leaf as well as round the sound hole. So what I'm going to do first of all is just mark where that touches the leaf, bearing in mind that to get it to fit the sound hole I've got to actually squeeze it in a little bit. I think I'm going to see if I can file some of this down. Round. I'm going to make a mark there. Okay, now to see if I can fit it. I think I'm going to do it from the other side. See if I can get this in there. Easier said than done. It's gone through to there, and that's gone through to there. See what we've got. Oh, we're nearly there. Nearly there. So it's going to be an interesting gluing job. I'm going to do it with a two-part epoxy. I've mixed up the epoxy there. So I'm going to spread that round the outside of this and then attempt to get that into there. We've got to turn it round actually. Right, with the sound hole binding or perfing, I'm not sure what it's called. I mean, please let me know, whatever it should be called. Drying. I'm going to call it a day for this video. Thank you very much again for watching. If you like this sort of content, please don't forget to hit subscribe, and please don't forget to follow the rest of the Use What You've Got 2020 challenges. They're all getting on with their guitars. I'll see you soon, and in the meantime, stay safe.